welcome back. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. RingBell Radio's on the air. Chris Page here, being joined by the sexiest sauce boss in the land, Tim Applesauce. It's Wednesday, brother. Good morning. How are you?
Chris, you're sweet. It's hump day, and I'm ready to go over the top.
Well,
So
you know
let's
what?
get to it.
Let's make it happen, Captain. Let's bring in John Cable. Happy Wednesday, bud. What are you, pot number 12 right now?
Four. But I'm really curious where the innuendo's going here.
Oh, well, there's no innuendo. We're jumping right into the frying pan. What is
Well,
it?
no, he's the sexiest sauce boss, and he's ready to go over the top. And I feel like there's some kind of thing going on here, and I'm left out of the loop.
I
No,
would
you
I
can.
thought we were a tripod.
Well, if you wouldn't have walked away in between sessions, you would know exactly what we're talking about. But because you did, you do not.
I had
But
to
you
get
will
more coffee,
momentarily have no fear because you will be
but I
brought
had to
into the
get more
light.
coffee. And you telling me not to have fear makes me have even more fear, to be fair. So
Well,
I
it's.
think you're
No,
counterproductive.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Tim, what do we. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'd like to hit you guys with a little bit of drama. I'm just kidding. I want to do some EFed news this week. So we're going to mix
I mean,
together
you said
some
the same thing just then.
EFed news
Drama
and
stuff. What?
some over the top RingBell radio all in one. I've been following everything on social media so that you don't have to. So I'd like to just hit you guys with some headlines about stuff that's going on right now and get your take on it and let the listeners at home decide for themselves what this all means. So what do you say? You want to do some headlines?
I'm interested in headlines. I've been disconnected at
This is
work,
this
so I'd
is
love to get in on the loop.
this is the saucy
Perfect.
top 10 list. Yeah, Letterman had his top 10 list on the Late Show.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's such a
cue the
good list.
graphics. Top 10. Number 10.
Well, this goes back a couple weeks now. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, so some of this is not going to be news, but it's still stuff that should be acknowledged. And if you missed it, you're going to want to know about it. So a lot of times on Twitter, we'll see these posts about who name a couple handlers who you've enjoyed working with. Name a couple handlers who you'd like to work with next year. This is something that Denzel Porter does a fantastic job of bringing up, bringing a little positivity and a little recognition into the game. There were a lot of folks who chimed in on that post that went out, and I think everybody was just kind of hoping to have their name mentioned by one person just to get that dopamine hit. And it was pretty cool to see everybody just kind of reach out and do something positive for each other there. So did either one of you guys end up jumping on that bandwagon?
I didn't
I
know.
didn't, but I got mentioned, and it did give me a hit of dopamine.
I got mentioned a couple times, but I didn't jump on it. I try and stay away from Twitter as much as possible.
Yeah, I hear that. But,
Um,
when you're put in a situation as we are, where I don't know that we have a louder voice, but we have a regular voice
You speak
that
for yourself.
um, we can say things here that people can't really defend themselves or can't really react to it right away. So, I try not to play favorites on social media and to call out people, but I mean, obviously, I enjoy working with you guys, and there are a bunch of writers who I've enjoyed working with over at WGWF and the World Series of Wrestling and elsewhere, these super shows. So to just condense that list into however many characters Twitter allows you is it's really not enough. So you really run the risk of forgetting someone, leaving someone out of that group, and then you feel like a jerk. It seems to always be that way, where you're like, whoever else I'm forgetting, and there's always somebody. So if you're listening to the show, I think I speak for all three of us when I say that we've been happy to work with you. We'd love to work with you again, even if we don't like you and you don't like us. We would love to fix it. So
well, I know. You know, I'm open to conversations, but I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Well, if you've ever wanted to work with me, I still have that open challenge for Ravenstock. So
There you go.
All
All right, so we're gonna go from.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna jump ship. You want to add one more little tidbit here?
No, jump ship. You're good.
Well, I want to move
just like
from
the shark.
the most positive thing that's I've seen online to probably the most negative thing that I've seen in the Twitter space, and that was this Roblox Federation that was promptly discovered and banned within a couple hours. And John, you're giving me a face like me trying to talk to my dog.
Wait,
Well,
what?
what you said a Roblox? Oh, yeah. Wait, you missed me on this one,
Yeah,
homie.
what?
So there is a Roblox EFed. Okay, are you familiar with what Roblox is?
Yeah, I know what Roblox is.
It's a kids game, right? It's like a
Right.
Lego style kids game. Chris, just
Just
stick with
it's
me
like
here.
Minecraft but Lego style, and it's yeah, right.
It's designed for kids,
Okay.
right? So somebody in that game creates an incredibly racist wrestling federation. He drops, the N word with a hard R, and that federation has an affiliation with a homophobic federation, and I mean it's just very gross. There's no other way to put it. They're pumping it out there on Twitter, and the comments are putting
Is
out
that
are
the one
just
that got banned in like half a day?
yes, that's what I'm getting at. So it gets
Okay.
discovered by a handler, and then all of a sudden gets promoted everywhere. Like, we have to stop this, we have to end it. Which, true, it should be shut down. But I feel like it got advertised so much more than it needed to. It could have just been shut down right away by the first person who saw it. And it's horrible to see stuff like that because it makes it it makes you think that there are a lot of people who feel that way and act that way, and it's not the case. There are a couple outliers, and what we probably had there were a couple of 14-year-old edgy boys who play too much Call of Duty and want to make
No,
other people feel as bad as they
no,
do about their lives. So they post this stuff that's just horrific,
no.
and
There's
it.
one. There's one basement dwelling 40-year-old something or other keyboard warrior and out in his mom's basement, just wanting to promote something crazy.
But it's Roblox,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
which I don't
Listen,
think
my
they're
kids play Roblox, and the amount of times they run into much older individuals on that game is quite frightening.
which is a scary thought in itself. Uh, it's gone, which is a great thing. That was a win for everybody. The problem is, in order for it to be gone, it was exposed to everybody in every circle, and it's just gross. I'm not the type of person to advocate for canceling other people and their creative ideas, but it was designed strictly for the purpose of being hurtful to other people, and
Yeah, which isn't the play.
Well,
Like
I mean,
that's
they can
yeah.
can
uncalled.
fuck all the way off. The beautiful thing about my Twitter is I don't see a lot of it. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
So the way that it came to our desk is that a friend of ours promoted this account, which nobody had ever heard of, saying, "Hey, somebody should do something," and that's how it sneaks into the timeline.
Okay.
Yep.
Is
Well, I mean,
it's discovered by an ally.
it's gone. So,
Oh yeah, it got handled super fast. I was actually proud of
I think
our
we can all
response time on
agree
that.
that kind of shit's just really uncalled for. Uh, so, I don't know who got exposed to what and how much publicity it got. I don't care. It's gone. It's not here, and it doesn't need to be. So, you're right. It's a win for everybody.
So there are some federations who are offensive, and I don't want to drop any names here because it's not. I'm not the moral judge of what is right or wrong or acceptable or offensive, but uh, people do take exception to some of the things they see in certain feds. And one of the things that we've seen recently is in regards to intergender divisions, and we talked about this before, but that debate has been renewed this week. And what we've seen is this talk about having combined divisions. And Chris, you and I have talked about this. You're in favor of combined divisions. It's not really my taste. John, I don't know where you lie on this, but we've seen
It doesn't matter to me. I'm
right.
gonna take a booking and take it and do what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I think under certain circumstances, it makes a lot more sense than others. Roster size being the major driver of that.
I mean, realistically, if I see a card that has Emily Sims versus John Cable, I'm gonna need to get her an insurance package.
Right. Uh, yes. So it requires a little bit more effort when you've got a drastic size difference between competitors. So, regardless of where people uh, lie on that issue, uh, there was a change in one of the big feds in the Twitter circle that we swim in. IIW is eliminating their separate divisions and going with combined divisions. So,
I saw that.
Chris, you've done some work over there at times, and I think it's great. They decide they want to do that. I don't know if this conversation prompted that change or if it's something they've been thinking about doing for a long time. But they took a poll of what their handlers wanted, and they were heard, and that was the call that they made to merge those divisions. So I think that's a good thing. I think it's also good to have some some choices. If you want to go somewhere that has divisions, which like Sin City Wrestling has divisions, or if you want to go with somewhere combined, I think having options is always good for the consumer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see either which way. I mean, we're we're it's writing. It's not
Well, it goes back to what we talked about months and months and months ago when we were talking about how to decide on what Fed you want to get in. Every Fed has a baseline of what they are doing and what their storylines are and how their functions work. And you decide on which ones you want to take part in. And then when you figure out what you want to do, you find the Fed that most aligns with what your character baseline is and go with it.
So we've had some changes at other feds as well. Specifically, OCW has a brand new general manager uh, by the name. It's one of the Straighters. Help me out here. Which one of the Straighters took over at OCW?
well. There's only one handler of the Straighters.
Right, right. But the character, I think it's Kara. Is it Kara Strader?
I have no idea.
I apologize to the handler for not not having
There are literally
which one it is.
10,000 of them.
But it's not Victoria. It's not V Strader. It's
Tamika?
I believe. I don't think so.
No.
I think it's Kara Strader. But anyway, you have a changing of the guard over there, which is interesting because this character seems fun and bubbly, whereas the previous Fed head, who I don't know personally, was a bit of an edgy boy. Would post a lot of provocative stuff on Twitter. So it seems like a bit of a culture change, at least from the outside. I can't speak to what's going on inside, but I think it's a good thing for them. Hopefully it's re-energized their roster, and it's nice to see somebody pick up where somebody else left off. Because the worst case scenario would be that OCW shuts down for a period of time, and there's nobody willing to take over the reins. Uh, so Strader deserves a lot of credit for stepping up there, and I wish them the best of luck.
I know there was a point in time, I think last year, Strader was running it for a couple months maybe. Um, so it's not the handler can't do it. I'm rooting for them. I hope that they keep on trucking and keep on keeping on. It doesn't look like there's been a lag in the product. It doesn't look like there's been any kind of from the outside looking in, like there's been any kind of major drastic shifts other than the ownership change. But Strader's just getting started, the handler of rather. Let's see what happens here. I know that the handler's capable of doing it, so I'm pretty sure that Fed's not going anywhere.
It seems like they have a lot of pans in the fire right now. So in addition to the other Feds that are doing tag team tournaments, that's TPW, Thunder Pro Wrestling, and PWE, Pro Wrestling Excellence. OCW is also doing a tag tourney. In addition to them doing their Survival Island pay-per-view, which is Survival of the Fightiest. So they've got a lot of things in motion over there, and it seems like they've got a ton of momentum. So I'm still getting to know that product, but the site looks beautiful, and they got things going. So I applaud them for that.
What's
PWV.
Next? Ah,
what do you guys know about PWV?
Another Island pay-per-view.
Yes, Suplex Island is coming up again, and PWV, which is if you remember a year ago, PWV was running as a Twitter Fed. Matt Knox was the Fed head, and he's returned to the game. Looks like he's running PWV again. They're running Suplex Island 2, which I don't know the conditions of Suplex Island. I think it's something along the lines of if you get suplexed, you're eliminated. Some kind of wacky idea like that. But they are not doing the same format as last year. It's not going to be Twitter interaction only. It's going to be actual role plays. So it's a difference in play style. Because of that, you're going to get a different roster of folks that are involved there. I don't know what to think about PWV. I mean, it's a pretty ambitious goal to go in with a big idea like that and to just, jump right in, but they're recruiting like mad. I don't know if I can. I don't know that I would join it right now. I'm a little bit hesitant to join anything that's new because with the closing of the entity and some of these other startups that were dead before they hit the ground, I'd like to see the results come out there. But I'm certainly rooting for Knox and the folks over there at PWV.
I mean, I don't fault you for feeling that way because I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm gonna wait and see. I think I said it on another program. I want to wait and see what the product looks like and see how the Fed is. But I think that's I think that's a lot of people right now before just jumping straight into a federation. I can speak on my behalf. I've had conversations with 4 different handlers over the last 2 weeks about coming into the WGWF. And I will, I can say that 3 of those 4 for sure debuting. So, but you got to make sure that they're the right fit, and they want to make sure that they're the right fit. And they've been watching the product. Ultimately, is what it all boils back around to. So if the product gets out and the product's delivered upon. And the results are there and the quality of the shows are there, then I will tell Knox myself that I'll come over and do some stuff, but I'm gonna wait and see what happens with it first, and then we'll go from there. And I don't think that you're wrong by that, and I don't think that it's a knock on anybody, but I do think that, and this is just real talk, that if you open a Fed or you take over a Fed and it closes and you open it back up. You've shown them, and myself, I'm guilty of this with the WGWF. When you close your Fed, and I closed it in 2017, I relaunched it. Well, people are going to wait and see because I've already shown, regardless of how long I ran it, and it ran for 10 years, I've already shown that I have the capabilities of just closing up and stopping. So you have to build that trust back, and you have to build that people can say, yeah, man, I'm with you, I believe you, but they're always going to be questioning until you shut the questioning up. I'm not just saying that for Knox. Again, using myself as the example here because I just relaunched my Fed and we had a successful relaunch, and are experiencing really fun times right now. And it will continue to be fun, and that's because that's the product that we're delivering on. But we had to earn the trust of some of these other people out there that we're on time. We're that Raven and I are capable of knocking this shit out. And we've also got other people riding with us too, behind the scenes, match wise. So we have all the help we need. But that's because the feds we built it up and we helped ease those minds. John.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that we had a vision going into the relaunch of what we wanted it to come out like, but we didn't know it was going to get there. We had no idea. But now we're months and months in, and we're headed into our second pay-per-view, and everybody's having a great time. We're putting out product. We're getting things together, and realistically, we're enjoying what we're doing. That's what we're shooting for. That was always the intention, and here we are. Go figure, people are being interested.
Well, I'd like to promote a couple other events that are going on pretty soon here. We've got, of course, we got Ravenstock coming up.
Yes.
Looking for more announcements there. I don't know that many matches have been announced. Paige and Seb is the only one that I'm aware of.
I think
I'm
you missed a
waiting
couple of
patiently.
things. I think you did miss a couple of things, but I don't know if those things are official, and if they're not, I'm not going to be the one to say shit until I see
Correct.
or hear from the man himself.
Yes. No, I'm with you there. We're all waiting patiently for James Raven to do it, to announce on his own terms, and that's fine. You know, it's his party. He can cry if he wants to.
I know
Um,
I know I
right.
know this that there's what I've seen. There's some really really good things coming. I just
Well, the
don't know
trust
what's
is there.
official and what's not. And I only thing I know
Yeah,
for sure is out there is Seb and myself.
correct. So more to come on that. Whatever platform he decides to announce it on will be. I mean, it'll be passed around pretty quickly once it comes out. Uh, we also need to make sure that we don't forget about Splat Network has their Carnage Carnival coming up, and specifically the big match on that show is their Calamity Chamber match. It is a 50-man match inside a gigantic steel chamber that's got 4 rings inside of it. I mean, it sounds like a complete debacle, but I trust Splat Network and what they've done. They've committed to big projects in the past and delivered. They will deliver on this one. They just have to figure out a way to recruit 50 people to be a part of this thing. So, of course, it is angled. I think it's maybe randomized who wins it. A lot of people aren't going to want to participate because they have no control over their own destiny there. But it should be a pretty cool show. I mean,
So let me
fingers
say
crossed.
this
I
because
hope.
I got to participate with Peter Vaughn when Splat did their Interstellar Gemini Tag Team Tournament, which is angled. We all knew this going in, and I had an absolute blast with it. There was no promo work. We did some Twitter stuff. Vaughn and I played off of each other so well. We made the finals. We didn't win, but we made the finals, and into like I think it was a 4-way. But I say all that to say because it was a blast, and they deliver every product that they say they're going to deliver with the shows, whether they be the sitcoms or movies or whatever, and they don't ask for anything. Check out EFeder. What is it? EFeder.net? Isn't that the
Yeah.
plug that they're at? Because that's where you'll be able to sign up or hit them up on socials, on Twitter. Uh, just give it a shot. You don't have anything to lose at all. And even taking a step forward, I got a chance to challenge for the multiversal title. Back at Tara's show, got beat. Don't care. It was fun. because it wasn't about that. It was about promoting the Splat product, and they do a lot for the community.
This is their final year of doing these type of events. They're going to move into some other stuff afterwards. I think they're sticking to the MMA product, and they're doing. I don't know the extent of what they're going to be involved in, but it's going to be a big change. So this is kind of like the last hurrah for them. I haven't submitted yet to be a part of it, but I know that I should. I I had my own event with the World Series of Wrestling where I recruited 64 participants in that. And I can tell you from experience that it's very difficult to get people to commit to something like that. And I kind of want the folks at Splat to struggle a little bit and say, damn, man, how did you do it? Like, I want to feel like I was the only guy that could make it happen. But I think they'll be fine. I think they'll figure out a way to do it. And I should be doing more to help them recruit. So that's a
Then
point.
why the fuck aren't you?
Because
Yeah.
I'm a bad person.
Stop!
I think
stop.
that's
Put
pretty
your,
obvious.
the ego at the door. Help the man.
Yeah.
Help the man.
No, you're right. You're right. I totally should do more to help there. And if you're listening here, go ahead and sign up for Calamity Chamber. If you don't want to use your main, drop in your alt, and let's help them bring it to reality here.
Guy Mason.
Okay, so what else do we got here? There's a brand new GM over at Kingdom Come Wrestling. If you're familiar with the handler of Samantha Vox running Kingdom Come, it's a RP-Fed, which has a super show coming up in around Halloween. It's called Witching Hour. The brand new GM, they're going to be two co-GMs now. It's going to be Samantha Vox and Molly Hatchett running the show over there, which I think is great to have another choice, another product that's out there. So congrats to both of them. I think that product is going to continue to get better. And I know that they're recruiting right now. So if you're looking for a home where you can be a big fish in a small pond, it's a great spot to go. The flavor over there is a little bit spooky, a little bit different than what you would get in a traditional Fed. So it's worth taking a look. And what else do we got here? There was one more story. I'm forgetting it now. Help me out here, guys. What
The
else?
new story is Sauce Boss
Of a lovely
deals with
lady.
Alzheimer's.
I can't recall.
Was she bringing up three very lovely girls?
Do do do.
The
Folks
youngest
over
one
at
in curls. Go ahead.
what's going on with Todrick and Proud House Wrestling? John, you've been involved over there.
I have been lightly involved over there. I take no credit for the product that they've got going on. They're about to put out their second show this week. So by the time this airs, it will have already been published. I think they're supposed to do that tomorrow. So the second show from Proud House will be out by the time this goes out. So we'll be able to talk a little bit about that next time and have some details on it. I know that they've been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes. They've been solidifying, and I gotta give Todrick some mad props. He put out his first product. He listened to a lot of feedback about it, and he has carefully and cautiously approached the second show. And has made some adjustments, added some new people into the office to do some more work with him, and they've been trying to put together some solid stuff for show 2. So we'll see what happens there.
I'm rooting for Toddy.
Okay.
That's my cup of tea co-host. So I'm rooting for him.
I just got a message from Toddy saying, "Hey, how's it going? It's been a while." And the answer is things are going well, and I hope that Todrick is doing great. It's people do disappear at times, for a week or two, and it's always important to check in on people to see how they're doing, what they've been up to. Sometimes people are going through stuff and they handle it privately, and you acknowledging them and saying, "Hey, I miss you. What are you up to?" Sometimes that's the little push in the right direction that they need to, get their mojo back. But that was not what I wanted to bring up. What I did want to bring up is
Conveniently.
there's a brand new video game that's out this week, WWE 2K23, and it doesn't matter a whole lot to you guys. I don't think that you're big gamers anymore, but
Hey,
there are a lot of
hey,
Yeah, I was
hey,
about to say, bud.
John,
I'm
hey.
slow to the dance on the gaming side of the equation, but I am balls deep into the Far Cry series right now, and I'm enjoying every
okay.
minute of it.
And I have over 300 games in just my Steam library, so you calm down.
Is WWE 2K23 one of those games?
23 is not, but I do have a couple of WWE titles in my library.
So, as you know, a lot of feds will use their game engine for their results,
Mm-hmm.
and now that you've got the new game out with the new builds and the new graphics, a lot of feds who maybe are not competitive role play or maybe rely more heavily on the graphic side of it or the game engine side of it, they're going to be switching over, transitioning to the new version of the game, which as we're recording this, it comes out tomorrow, but many people got the early release a couple days prior. And from all reviews that I've heard, it's very good. They've taken all the successes of the previous game, they built it into the new one. The created wrestler suite is very, very good. So you're going to see a lot of graphics that are used in the game. You're going to see those on Twitter. The belt making system is really, really good. Chris, this is something that I think that we should do with WGWF is get at least an arena done inside the game. Get the belts put in the game. There have to be handlers within your Fed that can do that kind of graphic work. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort if you know what you're doing. And I mean, it's just pretty. It's a pretty game. To be able to walk through your Fed is a unique experience, even if it's just a completely 100% RP. It's still nice to have those graphics to go with it.
Little known fact, John actually did appear in a cough fed for a very short time between his WGWF stints. And I actually miss it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think what we'll probably do on this channel is stream some of that content. I'll drop a Page character and a John Cable and a Buster Gloves in a triple threat match, and just we can do a watch along. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, I want so bad.
Right?
Yeah, but you're gonna
It,
give us shitty attributes and bolster Buster up.
well, no. Hey, that's a good idea.
That'll be episode 1.
But you know how these feds work. They have a skill cap and they have a
Uh-huh.
moveset cap, and they have strict rules to try to keep it as fair as possible. We would do the same thing, right? You put everybody at the same ratings, and you just let it run and see what it does. So I hope that the game is enjoyable. Me personally, I love the GM mode. They have a 4-player GM mode coming out. So being able to book shows and hire and fire and go against 3 other people is a lot of fun. I just don't know if it's going to be couch co-op or if it's going to be online. And I have a feeling it's just going to be couch co-op, which kind of sucks.
I agree with that.
How would you do an online version of a 4-player GM mode?
You just take turns.
Oh.
Yeah, so you would have to. That's how you do it. Couch co-op is that one person takes their turn, they hand over the controller, the next person goes, and it's a lot more fun. I see the look on your face. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to
I would
these
if
cards.
I'm competing with other GMs though, I'd want to have like we'd each get a show every week.
That's
You
what
know,
it is.
you'd get Tuesday and I'd get Wednesday and he'd get Thursday, and then whoever had the better ratings every week would win.
That's exactly
That's
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
Okay. Well, all right.
It's a lot of fun. There's a way you could stream it in a way with multiple people, but it would require a lot of, hey, now do this, now do this, now go here, and I think that would be too tedious. But if they can figure out a way to make it online play, that would really be awesome, and it'd be fun to experiment with. So tomorrow, I think I'm taking a half day at work. I'm gonna dig into the game, try it out, explore a little bit, maybe live stream something this weekend. Um, Hopefully, it's got all the created stuff from the previous version of the game, and you don't have to start completely fresh. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Um, Buster Gloves is actually available for download in the 2K22 game. If you have that version of it, you can.
And as of tomorrow, he will be ported over to the new one in no
I hope.
time.
I hope so. I mean, I bought the new Xbox just to play the new game.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to it. And I think I've been encouraged by the pay-per-views by WWE and AEW. It's kind of got me re-energized where I was pretty bummed out. Now I'm all for it.
So you're saying you were once lost, but now you're found.
I am. I am.
And
Well, that's it
also,
for,
what he's saying is that WGWF Dark may be transitioning to a CawFed instead of just angles. All right.
yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what the future holds.
Hey, I can push for what I want to see. All right. I can push for what I want.
Well, if you have an idea, I strongly encourage you to pursue all of your dreams and ideas, John. And I'm sure the community will support you to the fullest, as long as it doesn't create additional work for anyone else.
Is that it for the news?
That's it. That's it. The list is gone. That's all the news that I got. Now everybody's caught up. They know everything about EFedding for the next 2 weeks. I'll be back again. I'll drop some new knowledge on everybody, and then you'll be caught up at that point. So this has been EFed News. I'm your boy, the Sauce Boss. Chris Page, John Cable, RingBell Radio.
Savage Elbows, ding bell down below, like and subscribe for more content. Don't forget us. Love each and every one of your faces. Have a great night.